What's going on, Socialites? Welcome back to another GPS Tracking, your podcast for everything you need to know about the Global Pokémon Society and all things Pokemon news in general. It's your host and commissioner, Ryan, head coach of your Boston Braviers, joined this week by the reigning Season 6 champion, Caitlin, head coach of Denver Ninetales. How's it going, Caitlin?
Pretty good. How you doing, Ryan?
Good. Good to have you on. We'll definitely be talking about Season 6, and we'll also be getting into Season 7 for those looking forward to more Draft League content. Also joining us is Alex, head coach of the Lavender Town Gengars. How's it going, Alex?
How's it going, dude? Pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Glad to have you on again. It's been a while since we've had Alex on, so good to have him. He's part of the rules committee again for another season, so he's going to be discussing the new Season 7 rules with us. Also returning to the rules committee, we have Chris, aka Chrisellaneous, head coach of the Diamond Desert Dwellers. How's it going, Chris?
Fantastic. Pleasure to be here. How are you?
Awesome. Happy New Year to everybody as well. Hope everyone had safe, happy, and healthy holidays. I know, stuff's going back around again, so hope everyone is doing well with that. But Chris, while I'm talking to you, I don't want to get too far ahead, but I did say that you're returning to the rules committee, and you're also returning with a new coach. Haven't made his team logo yet, but is your brother who's going to be joining the league as well. So this is your time to kind of offer either some advice or maybe a little bit of smack talk for your brother joining the society.
Absolutely. And, to your point, one of my mods for my Discord, my stuff is joining the people. I'm looking forward to seeing their performance. And very familiar with GC stuff. They're not familiar with the custom tiering that all of us in the society are accustomed to. I would really encourage them to reanalyze some of their past strategies, consider some things. And we're all kind of going into this new because I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time GPS has been a game sides shield. Is that right? Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's going to be their biggest hurdle to get over is familiarizing themselves with the tiering and
kind of the whole format of it. Just drafting and using that.
Between the two of them, I'm trying to figure out who I'm rooting, my mod or my brother. And
Chris,
I don't know.
Just root for yourself and beat both of them, okay?
Yeah.
That's the easy answer.
I'm going to kick
They're
their
both
butt.
losers to you, all right? That's how you got to look at it. All right, so again, Happy New Year, everybody, 2022. So to kick off the podcast, we're going to go around and give us a New Year's Pokemon resolution. So this could be something either you want personally, maybe it's in the Draft League, maybe it's in other games that you want, maybe in Chris's case, it's for his personal channel or his Twitch streaming, which, we'll have linked down below for those who want to check out Chrisellaneous Gaming. Or you could just be like, hey, this is what I want to see Pokemon do. This past year was the 25th anniversary, and I feel like it was a big letdown overall as far as like a 25th anniversary goes. So, Caitlin, let's start with you. What's your New Year's Pokemon resolution?
This might sound silly, but to finish a game in a reasonable amount of time because I still haven't beat Pearl, and I probably started playing a week after it came out. So, and I know there's quite a few games coming out that we want to get, and I'd like to actually be able to beat them so that when people are talking about the gameplay, I understand what's happening.
Yeah, that's kind of my fault.
I didn't play the original.
I hogged the Switch.
So. I didn't play the original Diamond and Pearl either when it first came out, so this is kind of cool for me to do this playthrough. So
nice. Well, that's a good resolution. Try to be more. I don't want to say punctual, but just get your priorities in line. Jeez. But then Chris can't say much about that because he hasn't even gone past the picking the Pokemon.
I haven't caught my first Pokemon yet.
No.
No.
All right, Alex, what's your New Year's resolution?
I don't know, man, to do better. You know, like it was truly a humbling season last season, and we would just like to do better. Better would be great.
Well, you know, we're going back to singles, and you did very well in the first singles season you were in.
Hey, man,
so
we're gonna get there. It's gonna be a whole new year.
It is a whole new year. Yes,
That's the spirit.
Those are facts. Those are
We'll
facts.
get them.
Chris,
Hoorah.
what's your New Year's Pokemon resolution?
Well, now that I've got all the gaming streaming stuff kind of set to a schedule, I'd like to have a bigger role with GPS, be more present with the coaches and everything. I think joining the rules committee this season is a really good opportunity for me to kind of like improve on how I was the previous time I joined. So a lot of that. Personally, I also hope to explore like the Nuzlocke side of Pokemon because I've never done any of that. I'm hoping to kind of do some more of that to kind of make things more challenging in my own personal gameplay.
Nice. Yeah, Nuzlocks are always fun. For those who didn't check it out, Cole and I had a wheel lock versus. Unfortunately, he lost kind of early in the game, so whoops for him. But yeah, so no, definitely some good goals to have. I would say for me, I smell blood in the water. I'm coming out strong this season. It's championship or bust for me. You know, lost 2 seasons in a row. Can't let that happen again. So that's no. But honestly, no. I want to recommit to the channel. I kind of blame the holiday season because when season 6 ended, was like right after Thanksgiving. So the last month and a half has just been kind of, you know, busier than normal in the personal life. So I just want to find time to be able to make more content, and hopefully we can get out of this kind of like stagnant sub viewer count that we've had at the with the channel, because we hit like 500 subs was my goal for 2021. For those who haven't watched the 2022 channel update video that I posted on New Year's Day, but which we hit really early actually in 2021. So to hit that like before the halfway mark of the year and then only have 534 subs at the end of the year is kind of disappointing when you think about that. So I definitely want to find you know, a way to generate that growth again that we had in the first half of 2021. I know a lot of that was driven by shorts, and I kind of talked about this in the update video, but it takes me just as long to make this 1-minute short video as it does for me to just record a battle. And I have more fun and feel like I get more out of recording a battle than I do making a like 1-minute short. But if that's what the people want, then, you know, I got to find that balance. But yeah, but that's my sort of personal New Year's resolution. But all right, so as we stated before, we have the reigning champ. All hail, all bow to the queen herself, Caitlin. Katie, it's been a long time coming. You've been around since season 1. You've always had very good finishes. You've been a runner-up previously. You have won your division every season. Always like a top 3-4 seed easily. And this was the most dominant season ever. Perfect 10-0 regular season plus a championship. So I'm going to let you have the floor. Just kind of talk about how, you know, how has your life changed in this past month being a champion? I'm sure you're recognized a lot on the streets now. So just kind of tell us about that.
I don't know. I won't want to say my life has changed a whole lot, but it actually feels good because, like you said, it's been 6 seasons now, and I feel like there's been a couple times where I've gotten just there. I'm almost there, and then I lose, and it's incredibly disappointing. So was kind of awesome to not only win, but to not lose a single game the entire season. And a lot of it I attribute to just having a really great draft. I think from the beginning, I picked a really, really good team, and I only had to make a couple tweaks in it, and they just carried me through the whole way. So I'm pretty happy. I'm sure part of it was luck, but I did do some prep before the draft, and I want to make sure that I can repeat that in this next season.
Yeah, no, that's kind of been one of your strengths too, is you always have like a very solid draft, and this was definitely probably your best one. Yeah, like you said, you only made one change all season. I want to just talk about the finals real quick, and then I'll open it up to Alex or Chris if they have any questions for you. Which means, guys, you should think of a question. Be nice. But just talk about the finals, because again, this was a dominant season for you. Again, we talked about you going undefeated, but you also swept 3-0 in the finals, which is a pretty unique format for us. Being able to use any of your 10 Pokemon in a combination. So, how did you feel? Kind of, talk about going into it real quick. How were you feeling? And then when you won that third game, how what was your thought process there?
To be totally honest, it was just anxiety ridden going in and playing and leaving. And like, I know you say you have fun with all of this, but my anxiety level is like 100 whenever I'm done playing a game. And like, then I'm like up for like hours afterwards, being like, just trying to get all this stress out. So when it was finally done, it was just like a sense of relief. It's like, because the more I won, the more pressure I felt on myself, that I like, oh, now if I lose, it's all going to be for nothing, and it'd almost be better if I just lost. I don't have to feel this anxiety. But the more I didn't lose, the more I wanted to keep winning, and just made the anxiety more and more and more. So I was just very relieved when it was finally done, and I could just relax.
Yeah, I will say, because I was in the room when you, finished. When you won the championship, and you definitely weren't jumping up and down. You were just like, oh, okay, it's over.
It's a good thing you don't record me when I'm actually doing
the actual
and I'm like, what do I do? Like, it's not like anything anybody wants to watch. So.
All right, Chris, did you have any questions or anything you wanted to say about season 6?
Well, I wanted to congratulate her on her victory. I knew you could beat him. I knew you could beat Ryan from the get-go. Knew it would happen. Absolutely no doubts. And then asking for a friend, not the Diamond Desert Dwellers, they're fine, but asking for a friend. If you could give any advice to someone who maybe doesn't have such great skill in determining their first draft picks, since this is your strong suit, what would you tell them?
I would say when you pick your draft, like, you're going to have your 2 core that, is obviously a higher tier and better Pokemon, but don't forget about the other tiers and just pick. I feel like sometimes people get pigeonholed into their one main strategy and they forget about their backup strategies. So you kind of have to think about, like, especially with doubles, what teams of 2 can I have that can work together to do something and have multiple. So, one thing I did before the draft was I actually picked one Pokemon I wanted, Alolan Ninetales. I'm like, okay, what do they work well with? And I just started looking at other teams and other Pokemon that worked with Ninetales, and kind of actually built it around that and branched off of my one pick. But I did go into the draft, I usually do, with 5 picks for each tier, because I know that my first pick is going to get gone. So it's nice to have a backup, so you're not quite as on the spot when pick is gone and now you're left out.
All right. Well, I'll make sure. Like I said, asking for a friend, not the Diamond Desert Dwellers. But I think for my friend, that's some pretty helpful information. So I appreciate you kind of giving your strat on that.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment on that too. I mean, as the Denver Ninetales showed, they had quite a few facets to their team. They had the hail side, they had the trick room side, which was very powerful for them, and they also just had, like Rotom and Incineroar, just two, and those were their S and A tiers, and that's just like, hey, two really good Pokemon, you know, that can fit into either strategy and those. So yeah, definitely very, very good stuff there. Alex, anything you want to ask the champ, or any comments you have about season 6?
Yeah, a genuine question. First of all, in my head, I wanted you to know that I thought that you were going to win the draft the minute you picked Incineroar. The minute like it happened, I was like, "Oh, okay, well there goes the win."
That's definitely a huge pick.
Such a strong pick. Secondly, like I feel you, like being anxious in all like aspects of being, even while you're winning. But tell me, in the back of your mind, now that it's over and like you're the champ, like congratulations, genuinely, by the way. But now that you're the champ and you can let it go, did it feel good to hold the broom as you went 3-0 in the finals? I mean, like, was it heavy at some points? Like, did you have to like do like push-ups or something to get up there and like pick it up and just scoop them out of there?
The whole time I was like, she's definitely gonna beat me, right? It's not. I'm like, wait, I want. Okay, oh damn, okay. like Ryan will attest to it too. There was no joy. It was just pure anxiety. Like, oh my god.
Yeah,
a champion out of
no,
pure
like,
spite.
Yeah.
Thank you. Congratulations, truly. Good job, dude.
Champion of champions.
Yeah, just kind of comment on that too, because I was, as you were talking there, Alex, like kind of asking the question. I was thinking back on like the finals, and I was thinking like, you know, obviously they're tough games. They were all pretty close games. So I was thinking like, what was like the pivotal moment that like, you know, there's always like a moment in these series or like these battles where you're like, oh, this is what made this match. That this is like what decided. And it was really that Rotom in that one game where it got put to sleep twice and woke up both times first, and like just one-shotted Pokemon with Max Geyser and with its Hydro Pump, and we're just like, yeah, you put me asleep.
Persevere.
And yep. So that
Like
was
said,
kind of
man,
just the thing. It was like, okay,
spite.
Katie's gonna win this.
Well, and I will say too, every time that happened, I'm like, ooh, that sucks for him. And like Ryan's
Yeah,
like,
sucks for him.
Oh no.
Ryan's like, what's wrong with you?
No, I'm gonna be the champion. Oh,
It's like I felt genuinely
gosh,
bad.
what will
and
I
Ryan is
do?
like, stop.
God, like, I hope you like. Does it feel good to look down on the rest of us? But like, to be fair, some of us didn't put the correct items on their Pokemon, and some of us, you know, made a lot of mistakes. But you really succeeded, dude. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, so yeah,
Get there.
so that kind of just wraps up season 6. Again, Katie gets to wear the crown, but we're going into another season, so that means we got 15 other teams looking to take that crown away. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go over the season 7 rules, and we're going to take a look at the tier list so that everyone can get familiar with that. All right. Everybody see that fine? I'll zoom in a little bit. All right, so rules doc, pretty simple stuff. If you've read one of our rules doc, you've kind of read them all. So I'm gonna only hit the highlights, and then if Alex or Chris, who are also on the rules committee, want to interject or add something, please feel free. Just talk over me. I'll shut up. All right, so 10 rounds again. Our pretty standard draft order of 1 S tier, 1 A tier, 4 Bs, 4 Cs. Nothing super spicy there. Transactions we're going to do kind of the same way that we did last season. I think that did pretty well. You know, letting people do as many at a time as they want, but within only one per tier sort of thing. You know, it's good to be able to change your team when you realize something's not working, but also have a restriction so people aren't being loosey-goosey, going nutty. Only going to be 9 games this season. That's just because we went from a 20-team league down to a 16-team league. In the minors, which is coming back, so congrats to the minors coaches. You're back. They will be a 7-week season. Actually, while we got that, Chris, do you want to say anything about the minors coming back? Because you're kind of like the minors liaison here in the rules committee.
For sure. Well, I mean, I will say I'm ashamed to still be in the minors at this point, but it's well deserved. No, just kidding. But last season was a great experience as far as seeing some of the strategies with the majors coaches since we, merged them together, which was an epic thing to see. And I think a lot of the coaches I battled, I learned a lot from. So I'm hoping that a lot of the minors coaches that played last season are feeling the same way. I think it was a beneficial thing that, we might see some new strengths from the minor coaches going into this next season because of.
Yeah, you make a very good point there, Chris. I just want to point out, it'll be very interesting to see the minor league coaches who were in last season, see how they kind of perform against some of the other coaches who are returning who didn't play last season. I want to see if we kind of see a little bit of a strategy or skill gap kind of form there between those kind of two groups, so to speak. So yeah, that'll be something to kind of like look at as the season unfolds and kind of comment on. But yeah, very, very good point. All right, postseason, basically the same thing. For the actual battles, though, this is going to be different for us. For singles, in doubles, we have done best of 3, of course, but this is the first time we are going to do it in singles, so it's going to be 6v6 best of 3 matches, which is going to be very interesting. It's definitely going to add a layer of strategy. In a best of 1 6v6, you can really just throw someone off with a wacky set or two, like a focus sash that they might not be expecting or something, and screw everybody up. But now in a best of 3, it's definitely gonna come down a lot more to skill and strategy, so I think that'll be very interesting for sure. As far as things that are banned for items, the accuracy reducing items, bright powder and lax incense, are both banned. The following moves are banned: baton pass, any one-hit KO move, evasion boosting moves, and rest. Again, we just want to limit stalling, so stuff like sleeping over and over again, resting up. The following abilities are going to be banned: pretty standard stuff: Moody, Shadow Tag, and Arena Trap. And Speed Boost on Blaziken is going to be banned. This was one of the things that we talked about. Alex, you voted to ban Speed Boost on Blaziken, correct?
Come on, man. Like, someone's going to pick it and just go protect turn 1 and Speed Boost. And there's like a pigeonhole amount of things that get you out of it against some teams. And if it gets off a sword stance, it will sweep your entire team guaranteed. It's Diamond Pearl meta. I've seen it happen. No, thank you. Yeah, exactly. In a draft format, it's your tools are so restricted that like we're already limited to to just 4th gen Pokemon. So everybody knows what's broken in that gen. Like for those of us who have been here, because I know that our reigning champ hasn't actually played through the games yet. This is a broken Pokemon in this format. Like it's beatable in doubles in Shield and Sword, but here it's so much harder, especially when you're like limited. When I might look at a Cradily and like really pick it, against a speed boosting Blaziken. Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah, so you will be able to pick Blaziken, but it's going to be limited to just the Blaze ability. So keep that in mind if you're looking at Blaziken. Don't think it looks super juicy in that B tier when we get to the tier list and think, ooh, yeah, no, there's a reason it's there. Sleep Clause, for those who play Showdown Smogon rules, you can only put one of your opponent's Pokemon to sleep, something to keep in mind. And then we did this last season, and I didn't hear many complaints about it, but if for some reason the match reaches the 20-minute timer, which in singles it's a lot more apt to do than doubles, just whoever the game says won is going to be the winner. We're not going to try to reset stuff. We're not going to try to do anything. just please be aware that there is a 20-minute timer. Make your decisions in a reasonable pace. Don't purposefully stall. Just when you're drafting, realize what your team does. Don't be picking, Blissey, Snorlax, Slowbro, and just think that I'm going to just heal up all the time. Realize that, hey, it's fine to have those Pokemon as pivots and everything, but don't make your whole team kind of that strategy, because then we're just going to have a bunch of 20-minute games, and we'll have to do something about that as the rules committee. If they didn't have a timer, that'd be something else, but unfortunately, they do. All right, so that's all the rules, really. Chris or Alex, did you guys want to add anything about that? All right, so let's take a look at the tier list here. For those who can see that, we'll go through this real quick. I'm just going to stop on a couple of the Pokemon that we discussed as a rules committee. All of you, Caitlin, Alex, Chris, as I go through the tiers, if there's a certain Pokemon you just want to stop and talk about, again, just shout over me. I'll shut up. So as far as Pokemon that are banned, if it's a overpowered legendary or a Pokemon that hasn't officially been released in the game, i.e. Darkrai, Shaman, Arceus, Deoxys, Celebi, all those, they were banned automatically. It's our typical rule to ban Mew because it can do too much, too prediction and set reliant. Smeargle kind of got pasted with that. I think Smeargle could have been okay to allow in, but I understand where we came through. We had a small discussion about it. Just again, no use in having it in there if it can just learn anything, even if it is a lot weaker on average Pokemon. And the only other Pokemon that might seem a little out of place here that we voted to ban was Manaphy. In the rain, this Pokemon is very annoying. Now, Rest is banned in our league, but again, in the rain, this Pokemon becomes a real force, and even without rain, it gets access to the best boosting move in the game, Tail Glow, and with a Life Orb set, or it has a wide move pool. You could even in certain matchups you could do.
Boo, legendaries. Let's talk about Dragonite. Boo. Sorry.
All right. He wants us to move on from the ban. I was just trying to explain our thought process here. Okay.
No, I got you. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Moving on to the S tier then. For those who just watched, Smogon updated their usage statistics, and Scizor has over 50% usage, which means every battle, at least one team has a Scizor in BDSP singles right now. So,
I mean,
Scizor is good.
Where's the lie, man? It's so good. I'm so sad that it doesn't have superpower in this game.
Oh my goodness!
My heart.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart every
just
day.
Just don't break it.
I mean, Brick Break is fine, but it's still so great.
Yeah. They took away Bug Bite too, which was always an interesting one on Scizor back in the earlier gens. All right, so kind of just looking at this, if you play Smogon Showdown, you kind of understand what OU, UU, now they've introduced RU and BDSP, but that's kind of how our tiers go a little bit, kind of by their usage plus some other things. Nothing in particular out of the ordinary. S tier, Ditto's kind of thrown in there just because it can be anything. If someone wants to use it, then use it. We do allow Rain in our league, which in competitive singles they don't allow, so that's why you see Pelipper up there in the S tier. But yeah, S tier, you can't go wrong really with whatever you pick. Just pick whatever's overpowered or whatever sort of strategy you want to do from there. So we'll go down to the A tier. Again, just all very solid Pokemon. Some key standouts for me in here are, Tyranitar is a great dual threat, offensive, defensive, sand setter. Not a lot of Pokemon in the earlier gens that can take advantage of sand as far as like speed boost goes. We do have some Sand Veil Pokemon, such as if you wanted to run like a Garchomp and Tyranitar team, you could run Sand Veil on your Garchomp. That is an option. A lot of
weather is so strong in this whole format. It's gonna be gross. Hey Champ, are you gonna take Pelipper again? Is that gonna happen? I see you, girl.
I've gone through all the weather teams. I don't know what I'm gonna do now.
She's gonna be all Cloud9 Pokemon. Licky, pick number 1.
Cast Form's a sleeper. Remember that in the draft.
Yep. Cast Form's there. He's there, all right. Definitely.
Pick Altaria just to ruin.
A lot of Pokemon lost Weather Ball, which kind of like that's why you see like a Venusaur in the B tier. Venusaur got nerfed real hard, losing Weather Ball, losing Earth Power. But I don't want to get too far ahead into B tier. The last thing I want to say about A tier is a lot of good water types in this. So kind of, for people watching this, if you want to prioritize a water type, kind of look in this tier because there are a lot of good both offensive and bulky water types. Something I just want to say, and then I'll let Chris kind of get his word in here because I see that he's been wanting to say something for a while, but
just shout like the rest of us rudely.
Yeah, just talk over me. But dragons and fairy types are very limited in this game. So again, those are a couple types or Pokemon that you want to kind of prioritize early in your draft because a lot of them are high tier and there's not a lot of them. So if somebody has the dragon and you don't have the fairy to check it, you're going to be in a bad time. Or if you don't have your own dragon to KO their dragon, so it's kind of going to be one of those things. Okay, Chris, what do you want to say?
Well, I just have some thoughts about this format overall that I think, like going through this list, it'll be exciting. Like for example, Sword and Shield, we've had multiple hundreds of Pokemon to choose from, and we've had Dynamax and all that good stuff. And this is really kicking Pokemon back to basics. I mean, there's newer gens and stuff in here, but it's like I for one am very happy about that. For the record, I like a Dynamax strategy is just like something new when I'm very used to a format where my Pokemon will stay the same the whole time. and that's like, while like I'm not going to be like boomer about it, it's refreshing, like it's just easier. So I'm just happy. I really do love this gen. So I'm a huge fanboy. And to the point that we were vaguely touched on earlier, this will make it an easier transition for those who are trying to incorporate some of the strategies that they learned playing with the majors last season. I think, I'm not assuming this will be an easy season at all, but in terms of team building, it's less overwhelming. You don't have as many variables. And there's the problems that you might face with your team selection, I think, are easier to see. Maybe not easy, but I think it's just going to make for a really interesting season, and we might see some new teams reigning. Oh yeah, no, I can definitely agree with that. Kind of stripping all those fancy new toys. One of the things that I guess I miss is, they took away a lot of items that were introduced in later generations, such as Light, items are going to be fun. Like when we go to set up last gen, it's like, you look at some of these Pokemon, you're like, man, you need removal now. You need a defogger, you need a rapid spinner because a lot of these Pokemon are going to get worn
Hazards
down
are
now.
Strong, man. Hazards are very strong this gen. I was reading a cool article about like counter picks to like, to make sure your hazards stay on your opponent's field. It's like annoying but effective. in this generation.
Oh yeah, for sure. And everyone remembers this was the generation that Stealth Rocks, was introduced to the game. So before that, it was only Spikes. And also interesting is Sticky Web is this. Sticky Web was introduced in Gen 6, so now you got all the hazards in a Gen 4 meta, which kind of opens up some Pokemon that in previous, original Diamond Pearl weren't very optimal. Shuckle, here we're looking at the B tier. Shuckle is definitely a very good lead in this format, being able to get rocks, Sticky Web, Final Gambit, a lot of these moves that it's gained since the original Diamond Pearl. But let's take a quick look at this B tier. So every team's going to pick 4 Pokemon from this. It's definitely a crowded tier, but I definitely
It's a lot of good picks
strong.
here, man.
Yeah,
a lot of
still
strong
a very
Pokemon
strong
here.
tier. I don't think people are going to be, upset with whatever 4 B tiers they pick. That this is still a very good tier for sure. Katie, was there anything you want to talk about? Any Pokemon that you kind of see jump out at you?
As in this tier? See, and that's the thing. I'm still trying to get used to having all these other Pokemon removed and like what is now considered good with this massive amount of Pokemon that we've taken out.
Champ, look right there on the 4th row, like second to the left. It's your boy Quagsire. There's your pick, because I know you're thinking about the rain. First pick.
I did rain already, though.
Yeah, already. Like, you wouldn't do it again. I see you. Like,
and I like the weather teams. They are fun.
Rain is
They're
definitely
so
the strongest weather in this generation, which is
hands
why
down
it's banned in
strongest.
other leagues. Because again, Sun lost a lot of stuff, losing like heavy duty boots and losing Venusaur just got nerfed so bad. I actually think if you are a team that's thinking about Sun, maybe you want to get that Torkoal or get the B tier Ninetales Sun. Victory Bell is very, very interesting. It actually still has access to Weather Ball, so it can give you like a strong fire type attack against any steel or fellow grass types that might try and wall it.
I think you could still make a strong argument for Sun. Like, Venusaur's nerf hurts a lot. I mean, but like it's got Rotom Heat. Rotom Heat's pretty good against rain teams.
I mean, Charizard's still there. Choice Specs Eruption from a Typhlosion in the Sun is very powerful.
Plus, you have Heatran. Heatran is back, baby.
Yeah, I'm not saying Sun's unplayable. I'm just saying like Rain is clearly like really
leaps
good.
and bounds the strongest.
And then it goes Sun is like, okay, Sun's like 2 tiers down, but it's still clear the second best. And then it's like Sand and Hail really aren't strategies. Sand you could have as like a bulky strategy, because obviously with the rock types getting a 50% special defense boost, so you could say.
I mean, it's Gen 4. Ground Pokemon are just abundant. So I mean, Sand's just viable in anything that you want to throw it in. But there's my boy in S tier, Mamoswine. God, it's the first thing I bred this gen. It's.
I actually think it was the first thing I bred too, and then I realized I didn't have an Icicle Crash one, and I had to like go hunting.
I had to go back into the underground. I don't have a hidden ability one yet. The only hidden ability I have currently, I have a Bagon that a friend traded me, but I also have Dragonite. In case anyone in our Discord is listening and wants to trade, grinding for the ability patch makes me want to cry. So, I'll trade them. I have so many babies, please. Like,
for sure. So that, I mean, again, just B tier still very, very good stuff. And then you got the rest, which is the C tier. So everything listed here plus whatever is not listed in anything. This is where you gotta start kind of thinking outside the box a little bit. You still got some very good defensive Pokemon, such as Steelix down here. Muck is a pretty good defensive pure poison type. Not the worst. Chansey without Evilite really hurts. But if you're like, man, my team is really weak to special attackers in particular, you could still look to get Chansey. I don't think it would be horrible depending on the team.
I don't know. Licky's got like a pretty wide move pool.
Yeah, hey, Licky, definitely don't sleep on Licky. And yo, this might be a meme, but Barrel, you get a Swords Dance off with Barrel, and he has stab priority attacks. You know, he could be a late game cleaner for a certain team.
I'm a little upset that Luxray is down here. I'd like to think that it's a little bit better. I'm aware
Everyone
that
likes to think that, but let me tell you, it's not.
Look, I get it.
It's
okay?
not
Like,
fast.
I know it's not.
Not very
Oh,
strong.
oh, I know what it
doesn't
does.
have good defenses.
You just like it because it's edgy.
If it wasn't for the mechanic where your Pokemon's like, it didn't faint because it loves you, then the Luxray would be worthless to me. Okay, like because it's so edgy, I wish it were better. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, for sure.
About Leafeon. I always get sad that Leafeon is so low.
I also am always surprised at Gallade being here because like I feel like it should just be better, and it's not bad. It's
Fine.
okay. It's fine.
There's a lot of Pokemon in this season. I will say, Sinnoh's my jam. There's a lot of Pokemon that really like. You want them to perform so well,
Yeah,
but they're so
a lot of
fragile.
fan favorites.
Yeah, and it's like Leafeon is like one of them. It's like one of those I would not choose of the evolutions in terms of like competitiveness, and maybe that's because I'm unexperienced as somebody. But that's my main problem with some of the cooler evolutions, is that they're just not what we wanted them to be. But
I feel that. I do feel that.
The problem with the evolutions has always been their move pool. Is always like pretty lacking. Like you get like your stab attacks, and then that's about it from them. So, you know, if you're not like a good type, like a Vaporeon or a Jolteon, where you're pure water, pure electric, and therefore, you know, good typing, then you're kind of stuck out of there. But
I definitely played a season with Wailord before, and he did pretty good for me. I
recall that.
I mean, last season the only Pokemon that I did well with was my C tier pick Pokemon, so like I'm really not hating on anybody.
Yeah, you can definitely still do a lot with C tier Pokemon. They, you know, you got to fill in your weaknesses with them.
the most useful Pokemon is in there. Dunsparce.
Do you have a strategy, Chris?
It's just Dunsparce.
It's just Dunsparce.
It's just Dunsparce.
If I were to make a prediction to everybody else, I just think that like we're all gonna find ourselves in a mad scramble in B tier. Like I almost want to like pick things out of it early if you can develop a game plan like that, because like there's a lot of gold in there. And to be honest, there's a lot of gold.
And to Katie's point earlier, we might need to select like 6 or 7 options that might work there, just because it's like there's 4 selections, there's a lot of coaches. Like we're gonna need to be prepared for that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll just scroll back up to the B tier, but yeah, this will definitely be a fighting ground. This is going to be the one where in the middle rounds people are complaining that someone stole their pick, 2 picks before them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be me. Like this is where Lavender Town will complain in the chat
Justin
that someone took their
calm
pick.
Down, Mister. It's going to be me. All right, so that's the tier list. I'll post a link to that down below for those who want to dive into a little bit more, as well as the rules doc, which does have the tier list attached. Definitely looking forward to season 7 for sure. Excited to get back into competitive playing. For those interested, the draft will be live streamed on January 15th, so that's less than 2 weeks away. That'll be the majors draft, and the minors draft will be the week after that on the 22nd. And then battles actually don't start until the beginning of February. It's like the first week of February is when majors battles start, and then minors starts after that, for those paying attention. Katie, any last words? What are your feelings for season 7? Are you hyped? You haven't even beaten the game yet. You're very far behind.
Very far behind.
Not as far behind as Chris, but
either too. Sword and Shield was like one of the first games I played in a very, very long time. So there's a lot of Pokemon I'm not even familiar with. No, I'm hyped. I think I'm excited for the next season. I'm kind of glad that the list has been parsed down a little bit. I think it makes the draft a little less overwhelming. But like you were saying, there's going to be a lot of fighting once we get to the B tier. A good chunk of that going to be gone. So it's going to be an interesting draft, I think. I don't think anybody's going to end up with the team they wanted.
Alex, what are your thoughts looking forward to season 7?
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed, dude. I mean, I'm absolutely looking forward to it. I will say that grinding for like things that I'm going to need for this has been abysmal. Yeah. It is. Wow, it is a choice, but I know it's going to be a lot of fun. This is like the generation where I started like breeding my Pokemon like competitively, so like I'm kind of happy to go back to it. It's going to be a lot of fun, but gosh, I have so many like ideas for teams that like I don't know don't know which direction I'm going to try to go.
Yeah, the draft just has to happen and then figure it out after that, right?
Yeah, I just have to like sweat it out and cry and then like pray to God that I got something decent and go from there.
So Chris, I want you to use your final word to kind of get people hyped for the minors coming back again. We had 2 season minors, 4 and 5, and then we kind of like merged everything together for season 6. So take the floor. Why should people be excited that the minors are back? 8 teams entering the gauntlet.
It's obvious why you should be excited minors this season. There's so much chaos, so many major changes to the Global Pokémon Society that comes with BDSP. Not only that, the experience from the last when all the teams, you know, that EXP share, man, it carried over to the minors, coming back strong. All right, let me unzoom. I think we've all learned a lot. I think there's less mistakes for us babies in the minors to make, and some of our strats able to come back. For those of us who haven't kept up with current generations, I don't know. There's going to be some surprises with the minors. There's new coaches in the minors. And I know some of these coaches are well informed about VGC. There's just amazing strats with one of the...
Yeah, no, so I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it all unfolds this season. I think we did need last season to happen though to kind of bring the hype back for minors.
For sure.
But yeah. So just to close this out, guys, if you are viewing this and you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Again, check out Chrisellaneous. Links down below to his channels, his Twitch. Definitely check him out. Give this video a like and comment down below. If you're new to the society checking us out, comment which of us 4 teams, the Boston Braviaries, the Denver Ninetales, the Diamond Desert Dwellers, or the Lavender Gengars. I'm trying to get the hands in the right position. Which ones? You know, it's when I add this too, it's going to flip everything around and all the hand motions will.
Yeah, man. Just do your hand signs. You're fine. Jutsu. It's cool.
Transmission. Whatever. But yeah, which team do you think is gonna do well this season, going into season 7 for BDSP? And if you know more teams, then feel free to comment more teams. Try not to comment yourself if you're a coach. You know, be a little humble. You know, you pat somebody else on the back. You know, it's a new year, new you sort of thing. But yeah, look forward to more Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl Wi-Fi battles coming out this week. Definitely going to be doing a bunch of those. Next weekend, I'll be doing kind of like a recap of all the Sword and Shield leagues, kind of go down each team and talking about like kind of just how they did through Sword and Shield, you know, kind of one last look back before we hop into Brilliant Diamond Shine Pearl. But thanks again, guys, for joining me. And as always, stay classy, society.